installing lights in my attic. I'm Mike, the backyard mechanic, and I'm in my attic, making me Mike the Attic Mechanic. At least I am with some phonetic juggling. I've been gone a few weeks because I bought a new house. Let me give you a tour. Well, there's not much I can show you from up here. In my next video, I'll be insulating the attic and laying flooring. Why? To store car parts, of course. This is a car channel, not a DIY channel. I started the insulation, but when I got to the far part of the attic, it's pretty dark and spooky. But that's not the reason. It's not. I considered moving all my work lights over there, but I thought, I plan to install permanent lights up here anyway, you know, in order to see all my car parts. So I should install them before doing all the insulation work. There is currently one light in this attic, and its sole job is to light the air conditioner unit for maintenance. I currently have a few work lights up here, which I've been doing in my attics for years. Now I also need a light over there to light up that section, and I need one light over here to light up these two middle sections, and I need another light down there to light up Spooky Town. I also plan to add an outlet here. Having power in the attic is more than just occasionally handy. I need a place to plug in some security cameras. It's a really safe neighborhood. The security cameras are just keep an eye on drive shaft. First world problems. I have my yellow Romex ready to go. Yellow means it's a 12 gauge wire versus white Romex, which is a 14 gauge wire. 12 gauge is rated for 20 amps, 14 is rated for 15 amps. These are just LED lights and a few security cameras, so I could have gotten away with white, but the rest of the house uses yellow, so when in Romex. As for why it's called Romex, I think it's named after Kieran Culkin's character in Succession.
Oh, really? It's not cool to tell the president to blow me? Hey, Mr. President.
I also heard a rumor that's named after the company that invented it, the Rome Cable Corporation of Rome, New York. But that's unsubstantiated. I got 4 of these simple light fixtures, which cost $4 each. These will be mounted to these metal boxes, which cost $4.50 each. These have clamps in them, but they're for very different cables, not for Romex. They're just going to take up space. So why did I get these? Because buying electrical boxes is a nightmare. I'm sure it's my fault because I don't know the terminology or the search words, but there are hundreds of electrical boxes that do hundreds of different things. You'll find something that might work, and it's 3 times the price. The prices are all over the place. I cross-reference Home Depot too. That's where I got these plastic outlet boxes from. They were more than half the price from Amazon. I didn't even want metal. Metal has the extra step of grounding. The reason a metal box is grounded is if a hot wire becomes loose and touches the box is energized. When you touch it, you could get a shock. Last thing, do you wire lights in serial or parallel? Well, you don't use serial because it could short circuit from the milk. Leave a comment on your favorite cereal. In a series, the power runs from light to light, and the final light has a wire that runs back to complete the circuit. In parallel, both the power and the return are run to each light. There are pros and cons to both approaches, but the main benefit to parallel is if one light burns out, the rest stay on. Think about Christmas tree lights. One burns out and the whole string is dead. Boo! We don't want that. And parallel is how the whole house is wired, so that's what we're going to do. Well, it's September in North Texas, so of course that means it'll be 100 degrees today. When it's 100 degrees outside, it's 130 up here. That's why this is being recorded at 8 o'clock in the morning. I only have about a 3-hour window each day, and I'd like to get this done over the weekend because Monday I have to go back to work at my new job, Foxy Boxing. How do you think I paid for this attic? Before playing with electricity, I like to turn off the breaker. I plan to install a light in between the light switch and the old light. For some reason, the wire running to the old light is extremely long. That's good, I can use that, but right now it's just laying all over the place. I need to disconnect it, clean it up, then reconnect it. I can't quite get to the old light. There's nothing to stand on. I'm going to use this old 2x4 as a step. My framing nailer is loaded with 3-inch nails, which should hold me up. Spoiler, it does. It would be great to have a fail shot of me falling through the ceiling of my new house, but that never happens. To disconnect the wire, the light fixture needs to come off. The proper term is a lamp holder, but I prefer light fixture. The wires are unscrewed from the fixture and then yanked out from the electrical box. If you've ever done work in an attic, you will know how unusual it is to have so much slack in an electrical wire. Romex is more than $1 a foot. After the wire is untangled, I reconnect it. The wire is pulled through the box and attached to the fixture. Light fixture wiring is really easy. The darker screw gets the darker wire. The wires are pushed into the box, the fixture is screwed on, and the bulb is screwed in. The wire staples are hammered into place to support the wire up and out of the way. That's what it sounds like to hammer with a bionic arm. Now I'm installing the box for light number 1. There is some schmutz on the lens, so I'll speed through this installation. It is an inline light, meaning a wire runs to it and then a wire runs from it to another light. I'll show a better shot of installing an inline light later. This is the preparation of the next 3 electrical boxes. I'm removing the clamps that are for a different type of cable and the lid screws that are too short to use with the light fixtures. Then I break loose the slugs out of the knockouts with a hammer and screwdriver and twist them out with needle nose pliers. Gray plastic cable grips are inserted into the knockout holes. These allow the wire to be pushed in but not pulled out. The junction box was prepared in a similar fashion. It has 4 gray cable grips, 1 in, 3 out. By the way, I will have links in the description to the parts and tools used in this video. I have it set up so that for every link you use, a puppy is saved from death row. To help you with the orientation of what I'm working on and where, I built this model of the attic. This is the old light here, and light number 1 was installed here. I mounted light box number 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. The junction box is installed here over the light switch. A wire is run from the light 2 box to the light 3 box. The Romex is cut to size and stapled in place. Another wire is run from the light 3 box to the junction box. Light 2 is wired up. This is an end light, so it's pretty simple. Attach the ground to the metal box with a green ground screw. Cut the wires to a comfortable length, strip the ends, leaving enough to make a J-hook, and screw the wires to the light fixture. The light fixture comes with extra long screws that screw into the box. The light bulb is screwed in. Light 3 is in line, so it has more to it. Twist the 2 ground wires together with a 3rd ground wire that is a couple inches long. This 3rd wire will stick through the hole in the top of the special green ground wire nut. Put a J-hook on the ground wire and screw it to the metal box with a green ground screw. The common wires are stripped about 1/2 inch. I'm using Wago lever nuts. As you just saw by my previous little ground wire job, I'm not fond of twisting 12 gauge wires. The Wago nuts are much simpler to use. Strip about 1/2 inch of insulation from the wire, lift the lever, bed the wire into the bottom of the nut, then close the lever. The back is transparent so you can inspect your connection. The main benefit of these is they take up quite a bit less room than traditional wire nuts, which need a decent amount of wire to get you the room to do the twist. I was thinking ahead and knew the junction box would have to connect at least 4 wires at a time. The traditional way is not only difficult to twist all those wires, then it'll be stiff and difficult to bend into place. And do 4 12-gauge wires use the same wire nut as 2 12-gauge wires? I don't even know. Now the load wires are cut to size, stripped, and connected together along with the 3rd wire. Here's a breakdown of this connection. The black wire is the hot side, or the side that carries the power from the source to the device. The wire coming from the power is called the line. The wire going to the light is called the load. I have 3 wires here because I'm essentially splitting the line into 2 loads to go to 2 lamps. The white is called the common or neutral. It is used to complete the circuit. It is recommended to wrap electrical tape around the Wago nuts. This prevents any of the levers from accidentally opening while you're putting things together. The 3rd common and 3rd load wires are then connected to the light fixture. The fixture is screwed onto the box and the light bulb is screwed into the fixture. Light 4 is also going to be in line. Like the other ones, the metal box is mounted with a couple of deck screws, then a wire is run from it to the junction box, then another wire from light 4 to light 5. The wires are nail stapled in place. The light 5 is an end light, so it's simple. Cut and strip the wires, attach the ground, attach the wires to the light fixture. Back to light 4, an inline light. Strip the Romex and attach the ground wires with the 4th ground nut. Cut and strip the rest of the wires and connect them together with the Wago nuts. Attach the wires to the lamp and screw in the light bulb. Finally, the junction box. There's nothing special about this. It's basically a splitter. The wire coming from the light switch is being split into 3 wires. Each of these 3 wires will be used for 2 lamps. I'm using 5 conductor Wago nuts for the junction box, although I'll only be using 4 conductors. I'm going to use a Wago nut for the ground wire this time in interest of saving space. The common and load wires are then connected and the whole mess is pushed into the box. I would put a lid on the box, but I lost it. The breaker is turned on. It didn't immediately pop, so that's a good sign. The moment of truth. Turn on the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new lights. And then there was light. Lots and lots of light. I use 13-watt bulbs, which have a 100-watt equivalent to incandescence. It is truly lighting up the entire area. I won't need additional lighting to do attic work. Or I didn't need additional lights. Truth be told, this is being shot out of order, but you have to wait for a future video to see the attic work completed, which also explains why my hair is so different from a few minutes ago. I did do a few things differently than I originally planned. I put another light over here. This will be one of the more accessible spots, and it was not getting lit up from the light over there. I ran this in parallel to the one over there because the junction box was getting pretty full. I was planning on putting a light here, but I don't really need it yet. I have a major project planned where I'll probably need multiple lights over here. I did not install an outlet here, I installed it back there. That was an interesting enough project that it'll be its own video. You might notice some duct tape on this board. No, it's not holding it together and keeping the roof up. They used a really sus board here that is not very smooth and in fact was a splinter factory. This board is one of the 2 that you use to hoist yourself up off the ladder. With this duct tape, I'm no longer getting splinters the size of an Olympic javelin. In the meantime, I have to get back to training for my next Foxy boxing match. Since you made it this far, I'm guessing you like the content of this video, which is great! Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you made it this far and give me a thumbs down, that's great too! You get a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs down, no matter. Just don't give me that. And speaking of that, I have a fan online. Hey fan, did you like the video?
You go into the attic. I'm not going into that attic. That's a scary attic. Well, mine is.
Thanks, fan. I still have car-based content in the future, but I have a lot of work to do in my garage, so there'll be a lot of non-car-based content too. In the meantime, watch this video on how the algorithm is crushing small car channels. That video didn't do very well because of the algorithm. Speaking of didn't do well, don't ask me what my Foxy boxing record is. Those women are tough. Unsubstantiated, unsubstantiated. I found the lid.